he becomes part of the earth. Yes? Yes. So he becomes part of the earth. Or more specifically, well, actually less specifically, more generally, becomes part of nature. So Bryant believes in Thanatopsis that when you die, you change forms and you become part of nature. What's our tomb? The earth is our tomb. Yeah, that's easy. Waterfall's easy. Thanatopsis is easy, yes? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Again, I stress, especially to the honors, that in Thanatopsis, he's talking about a change, transmutation or a change. He believes that when we die, we don't really die, we just change. And actually, that's for regular too, so all of you. He's talking about how we change when we die, and it's a change or a transmutation. Okay, moving on to House of Usher. Okay, again, I would go over the two interpretations of the title. 3 if you count it, but usually I only ask you for 2, the literal and symbolic. The literal is that the house actually falls down. Symbolic could be one of 2. It could be that it's the end of the Usher family line, because they're all dead. Or it could be symbolic of the demise of Usher's mind. How he goes crazy. The themes. Know the themes of Usher. All right, and I know they're tough, but I tried to simplify them. The first one is when a person is isolated from the outside world, he can start to go crazy. That's simplistic. I don't care. That's good, but it's simplistic. The other one is just as easy. Again, if 2 people are isolated and one is crazy, he's going to infect the other one. And that's the second one. Make sense? And then the third one is always the toughest one. But it's exactly like the first one, except you substitute the words, if an artist is isolated from the world and only focused on his art, he can lose sight of a reality and then not be able to create art and can even destroy himself. Okay, so it takes it a little deeper than the first one, but it's pretty much the same, except it's an artist. Again, if an artist is isolated from the outside world and is only focused on his art, he will stop creating. He won't be able to create art anymore, and he possibly could destroy himself, which is what happens to Usher. Don't forget your definitions. They're not here yet. I'm jumping a little bit. What's the single effect? Easiest question on the test. What's the single effect of the House of Usher? It is not sadness. It is terror. If I had fear, it would be fear. But it's fear or terror. Very important. Okay. All right, we showed differences between the narrator and Roderick Usher. Roderick Usher is irrational, and the narrator is supposed to be the presence of reason. Someone who values reason. We also said from the letter that the narrator receives from Usher that Usher is nervous and passionate. He's very passionate in his letter, but he also is passionate about the fact that he needs the narrator to come because he's very nervous. So the narrator, or Roderick Usher, is both nervous and passionate, and this is shown in the letter. And of course, if I ask you for a good line that depicts terror and fear, my favorite with the cadaverousness of complexion would be a great line to remember as far as the exhibiting of the one effect that Poe uses, which is terror. Okay, then I would know the 5 characteristics of a Gothic story and why. I mean, this is huge. It's like the folktale. You should know this. What are the 5 characteristics of a Gothic story? And again, remember on the test, that's a lot of points. And illustrate it. Okay, so let's go over it. Setting is 2 things. It's time and place. It's remote and indefinite past. That's the setting. So you've got to say it's remote or isolated as far as place, and it's in the indefinite past. Now prove it. Indefinite past, he rides up on horseback or horse. And remote, one way in, one way out, or whole house is isolated with the tarn or the lake around it, and there are no other houses. Okay, second one. Primary aim is to create an eerie atmosphere. Give me some examples. The black floors, the black drapery, the eye-like windows, the decayed trees. Usher looking like a cadaver. Madeline with her cadaver-like symptoms. Red blood moon at the end. Just to name a few. There are lots. Okay.